Back out here with the Dixon Zero turn. This has been a couple episodes of fixing, diagnosing, such things like that. Today, parts have come in. Somebody still had on the shelf an original Dixon light switch from back in the day, the two-pronger with the proper D-shaped thingamabobber to fit right in the hole we got. No modifications necessary. Paid a little bit more for it, but it's the exact one that fits. This is the light switch. Put her in from the back. The washer should go to the back. That's the part that helps it dig in. This one can really only go one way, so forward is going to be on, which is nice. And the D-ring, like I say, the D shape of it helps it so it can never turn. Beautiful, nice quality switch. He'll be happy with that. And of course the wiring is going to be nothing more than power in, power out. That's it. Lights should have power. Then I'll just tidy up those wires a little so they don't shake and get into any trouble. Tried to include the hard lines that are on those throttle and choke cables into the clamping. That gives it some rigidity. Now, just for the case of continuity, I should finish. Got some new headlights I want to try to put on there. Some LEDs to replace the no longer available one. Anyway, I should finish that, but more importantly, I want to try to get the mower running today. He could actually use it today. If I don't get to the lights, fine. But let me see that this goes on the way I want it to go on, so we don't have to reorder something, hopefully, or otherwise. Original clutch, other clutch, no longer available, out of obsolete, out of stock, whatever. Everybody you look up says even the ones I thought they had, they didn't have. When you order it, they later come back and say, no, we don't have it. Good luck to you if you're buying one. This one happened to come in. In my particular case, let's assume this one's going to work, so I'll give you the number. This is what fits mine, supposedly, unless it doesn't. So I'm very interested to see if this goes on. It'll only take a minute, and then I can get to the lights, but I don't want to do just the lights and then not get to this, because he could use his machine back, as I said. These look quite similar. I was able to verify the pulley diameter. What you want to be looking at is, installed height probably matters, or at the very least what matters, you could always get a longer or shorter bolt, but at the very least what matters is the height to where the pulley goes from where it bottoms out. The diameter of the pulley, critically important, or else you're going to have to try to find what belt fits, and you know, then you're always buying the wrong belt because, you know, that's not the one that's supposed to be on it, and just try to get it, try to match it up. I think the way this was, this plate, I took it off a while ago, just literally butts up and prevents it from spinning, and so it'll do that as long as everything else is the same. Shaft diameter, of course, critically important. The other one used, it had keyway on tractor engine key. This one has the key built into the PTO. No different, just a different way of doing it. So we'll leave the key stock out. Really difficult to get you under here with me, but anyway, this pulley, so the PTO is going to go here. This pulley, luckily, is free to go. It looks like somebody had put some grease on it or something. I'm going to do this guy a favor he doesn't even know about and put some anti-seize on that shaft at this very moment, because if I don't, the next time we go to get this thing off, we may not be so lucky. Nice. And I'm going to put it here too. And I know it's nasty and nobody likes to get it all over them and it never comes off. But how else are you going to get this out later? Get a little for those threads to get started on. Give it a chance to come back off someday. I don't know how it came off so easy the first time, but we just got lucky is what I think. Alright. Now when I get it up there farther, we gotta make sure the keyway lines up. Does this go in the up position or the down position? No, it goes down, of course. How else would we get the keyway in? So I gotta start the keyway now. And I see one challenge already. That keyway, there, let me turn the engine a little bit. Oh, I can't. Yeah, I can. That key stock is sticking down and it will not go up far enough to get out of our way, so we will need a shorter key for that one. I should have test fit this before putting the anti-seize on. I will need a shorter key because this one came with the key stock installed already. Not good. So on mine, the keyway will not push up because of these spacers are here. There's nowhere for it to go, so I just need a shorter key. These are going to fall out, so I'll just stick them out. That size, about a ½ inch shorter, would be fine, or I can cut this one. Alright, I cut down the key. The key stock I had, for some reason, was just a hair smaller than the originals, and that's not going to work because that thing would start banging, and you don't need it. You don't want any clearance on a keyway. They can't even measure things properly. Okay. Wow, that stuff really works. Too good. Can't even keep it up there while I try to fit the next piece. Gets them in the keyway. No. Yes, that's the way. Why won't you finish going up? Guess I have to draw it up with the bolt. Something's stopping me there. Don't know what. Shouldn't be. Alright, now this probably goes in that thing there to stop it also, which that was just hanging out there earlier. That's an interesting thing I just found, but I think the front thing really holds it. And the belt should go on. Okay, I'm not going to even try to get that belt on right now. I'm just going to go with the bolt and see if that'll draw up, or if I have some other obstruction here on that shaft. I don't know the answer. Right now I can't even make the end of that shaft. No, that's not making it. Yeah, it is. That was weird. Did I miss it to the side? Doesn't matter. Let's see if it'll go up. Answer, yes. Sweet. Now, question, can I get that plate to prevent this thing from turning, and is this supposed to go into that little groove if that part is lined up on the front? Do I have this entire thing on upside down? Is this supposed to be up there? Just had to stop for a minute there. Just realized that this clutch is designed to be put on exactly upside down from the other clutch. The way they have the bushing put in, so that means this pulley is way lower than it used to be, and I'm looking to see if that's going to be a problem, and it's really not. Once I get that belt back up there, it's just direct drive from here to the center deck pulley, so the height here isn't critical, but I was awfully surprised to see that. It was a bit of a gamble on which one I got, but there's no way to switch this also, because these are designed to grab in one direction only, and there's steel rods in there that go to the clutch thing, and anyway, they're only designed to work clockwise or counterclockwise. They'll only grab one way. So anyway, it's designed to be used in this, because I went to put this thing on here, and it's supposed to contact the plate. Well, we're not even close. So what I'm going to have to do is use this in that hole, which I think is probably the intent. Cut it shorter, get it all the way in there, and then I'll figure out if I can make a plate fit the backside, or if we go with just this. Okay, so I'm going to start by just cutting this, so when I turn it, I can take it loose here, roll it into that groove there. That'll prevent it from turning, but I maybe will put a bracket also. I'll cut that down, bring you back. Okay, back with you. So you got to pull the deck. It's spring-loaded apparently to the front. You got to pull that back to get that belt on. I put the wire on and tested it. Everything looks good. This piece I fit into that groove so it doesn't spin. And I'm just going to button up these wires a little bit here. We don't want these getting caught on any sticks or anything like that, or chafing on anything, or getting into the belts. I'm going to loosely, I think that rod pivots, so I'm going to just put this one loose. this we sure don't want hanging down. Is it long enough? Just barely. I want to button that up against the frame there. More wires in this one, so I'm going to put two together. Two zip ties, that is. Can you see over here what I'm trying to do? No, you can't even see that. There we go. Get that. Keep that up out of trouble. Doesn't get snagged, disconnected, torn out. Good. We're in good shape under here. Okay, I wasn't sure that that round rod was really going to hold for life. I was afraid that doing this, being that this is a commercial mower, extra heavy blades, large loads, that when I turned the clutch off, it may torque that little thing out of the way. So I made out of a chair arm, which was already had a nicely formed 90-degree bend. And is like 1/4 inch steel, which is way overkill for what I need. I'm going to put this through one of the engine mount bolts, and then the back of that is going to touch the clutch top plate and make it not spin. Alright, let me get my nut for the motor screw back in its little home. On the top. Alright. Alright. Got that in there. Hitting that plate nice and firm. And the motor mount bolt is back in. I just wasn't so sure that that thing, when you turn it off, does it really grab a lot? And if it did, it would spin the wires right out of the coil, rendering it useless, and we're doing this over again. So let's not do that. Let's take the minute now, put the good heavy bracket, way overkill, and then I don't have to be looking like a fool if this thing ever fails. Alright, I'm going to fire it up. Try the PTO out, make sure everything's good, give it a couple cycles on and off, make sure we don't have any unusual noises. Then just for confirmation of the repair, I will do the volt check and make sure we are at a positive rate of charge even while PTO is engaged. Got a positive rate of charge with no PTO. Now let me turn the PTO. just like it should be. That shouldn't really know the PTO is even on, and that's what we got. Okay, successful PTO installation. Now we'll go for the front headlights. So for those that didn't already watch the previous video in this series, this had a original headlight with the trim ring. This side had none, and they're no longer available, as most stuff from Dixon. But it was a speaker, which is old school brand speaker lights. They're still out there. They don't make any kind of a retrofit, any kind of anything that could fit that plug that I could find. Their website seemed to be absolutely useless. They didn't even have the original dimensions, so I just guessed that these no-name Amazon delivered, and unreal. It literally won't even need drilling, so couldn't have gotten any luckier on that. They do come with a little bit of a weenie wire length and size. Of course, LEDs don't consume much, but you know, give me a little something to work with here. So it'll make it, but not by a lot, because this thing doesn't give me a lot, and that side doesn't give me a lot either. Actually, when I pull on one side, it pulls the other wire. So don't have a whole lot of wiring to go with. Looks like this is a drilling template, but I'm just going to hold it up there because it's going to do the same job. Well, I guess I can use the template. What the heck? Then I don't booger up these holes. But yeah, let me bolt it up, and we'll just have to do some wiring then. Not bad. I couldn't believe that actually is like a perfect, absolute perfect fit. I'm going to put it just there, and this will still be protected by the bar for crashes and bashes, and protect it from getting damaged. And it should be plenty bright. These ones have straight ahead light, like focus lights, and a wide beam lights. It's like a work light, they call it. It's not a spot and it's not a flood, it's both. Unbelievably, they come with hardware, and looks like it'll be plenty long enough. Stainless steel of all things. I would have put stainless in myself. Nicely done for something aftermarket. Anyway, hex head, not really preferable, but you'll never have to take them back off, because these really shouldn't blow. You're not going to really put that many hours on them that you're going to really ever make them go bad. So I'll just drill a hole big enough that that'll fit. ×4, ×2. Just as far as what I chose online was this one is very compact. I didn't know how much. I had sent the machine back to the neighbor. I didn't know how much I really had there for space, so some of these were unusually large, and this one real compact. That's why they fit, so I'm really happy about that. I'm going to put it all the way up to the top, line this up with the top. Guess you don't need to watch me do the other side. Same thing. Bring you back. Okay, for starters here, I'm going to start on the passenger side. I'm going to pull this through a little bit so I have a little more to work with. It is on little clips in there, so I could unclip that, but let's leave it there so it doesn't get into some trouble later. Let's start by, and these LEDs, by the way, do matter. Even though it's DC, they absolutely matter. Positive, negative. They will not light if reversed. So these clips, I have no reason to reuse them again. These only fit in the original bulbs. They are not a connector. They are straight to the bulb, which we'll never use again. So I'm going to cut them short because I don't need to save these connectors for anything. Now the wire size would dictate, these go by colors and sizes. This one is like 16 to 22 gauge. This one is 16 to 14 gauge, and this one is, I think, 10 to 12, or yeah, 12 to 10. So it goes according to your wire size. Now if you just had the one conductor, you could easily get away with the smallest one, but we're probably going to have to use the blue ones. Now we're actually going to have to use the yellow ones to get the two white ones together. And I'm going to try the blue. Let's see what we got. And I'm going to put the female side on the tractor and have the lights plug into it. Yeah, blue will fit it. Good. Now, because I'm going to make them all blue, I'm going to make this one extra long, and so it's not just swimming inside of that connector when I crimp it. I'm going to double it over, loop it over on itself. Now it's double thick. It'll fit the blue connector just as well as it should. There we go. Let's give those a heat shrink. Whoops, cap's still on. These are the weather-resistant connectors, or whatever you want to call them. This is heat shrink tubing on there, so you are shrinking it around those wires, making a little bit of a weather-resistant seal, shrinking down on the wires. Okay, we got that side. I'm going to do the other side same way. One thing, if I didn't explain, if you are using this as a how-to at all, put the female connectors here. Now when that touches anything, well, this is plastic, but let's say that touches a grounded area, there's no way it could short out. If you were to leave the male connector exposed, that would short out to something. So this way your female, you're plugging into, there's no power here on your light. You're going to plug into the power. Just FYI, in case somebody doesn't know this stuff. Alright, got you down here with me. I'm using cardboard today because we finally got rain out here, and this yard is a bit wet, which has been a rare thing this summer. We haven't had a lot of rain. So, I don't feel like getting myself soaked out. So I'm just putting down some cardboard, making the job much more pleasant than would otherwise be. I don't know why they bother stripping that little bit. Like, what connector are you going to use that's ever going to be? Why don't they just strip it a little more and then you can maybe use it? Kind of odd. Okay, now we're going to go for our male connectors, and because the tips are the same, now when we go to the yellow ones, they're bigger, but the tip for the red connector and the blue connector are identical diameters. So I'm going to use the reds because that's more suitable to that wire size. You just don't want to have it crimped down and not be able to grab the wire. I like giving them a little twist. Just helps them from fraying out all different ways. Helps get it centered maybe. Or maybe it's just like a good luck charm, I don't know. Seems to work. Can't seem to get that straight into the ferrule. There it is. Reds are over there. That's all she needs. I'm doing this with bullet connectors because that's what I have. If you had a cool weather pack plug, wouldn't that be handy? Weather packs are the kind they use on automobiles, and they're made pretty durable. There's kits you can buy with different ones, but for my money and for the low amperage that's going through these things and the low risk of corrosion on a lawnmower, that right now at least it's only getting used for grass. Maybe someday they put a plow on it, I don't know, but not a high risk of corroding anything here. So these should be more than adequate for the little, you know, half an amp draw or whatever these things are going to be pulling. And they're kind of up under the front of the machine, so pretty much out of the way. Heat shrink these down. You use what you got. This little flame torch is the handiest little thing I ever bought. Sure beats having to get out at the hot air dryer thing, the hot air machine. Have one. Don't need it when you got this. It burns them a little bit, but if you're careful, you can get them without singeing stuff too bad. It's a little overkill, the heat amount of output that it has, but nice. Now looking at these lights, I don't think they really have a top and bottom. Nothing's labeled that I see. I see no differences, top and bottom, left and right. The only thing I see is I'm going to put this towards the top. I figure maybe that's means something. I don't know if it even matters. But just so they're both the same. In case the beam pattern is just a hair different or whatever. Plug those wires all in, set it how it's going to go. Same thing, up to the top. Oh, I got the wires all pulled to the other side right now. There we go. Plug the wires in. Plug thing to the top. Now it's just a matter of bolting them in. Nice. Oh yeah! Let's check them out. Woo! Oh hell yeah! Huh? Pretty good. Now, as far as again, in an earlier video, I may have shown this. I don't want to give it back to him like that. Let's see if we can get these to tighten down or do something. Otherwise, that's going to raise heck at certain RPM. That's the Muffler Guard. So far what I'm seeing, that one looks like it's broken off. These all just look like they could possibly be tightened. I'm going to take this one out, see what I can find there, and see if these want to move without snapping off. I don't have too much hope for something that's been that hot that many times, but you never know. You and I are doing it together. We either snap it, we're either zero or hero. Oh wow, it's gonna tighten. Okay, to get this one, looks like I'm gonna have to go in through the top. Get this air box up here loosening this. There we go. Get that out of my face. Now, I'm going to take these out. Oh yeah, they'll come out. Or they're just stripped. Oh yeah, it's just a self-tapper is all that is. Self-tapping screw with the little bit on the end. Sorry, missed you there. Self-tapping screw. That's all those are. That's good news and bad news. Good news is, I got more. What the heck is going on there? Oh yeah, that clip's broken off of here. That's what happened. I probably will not re-weld that. I'll just leave it there in case we get ambitious in the future that it could be re-welded by someone or me. But all these are, so that's just into, that's not even into the muffler, so that's actually good news. So if I needed to upsize them by a different diameter, if they won't grab again, that's possible. Okay, let's put this back on. You just don't want it to move. If it just holds there, you're fine. But if it rattles at all, at certain RPMs, you're going to have like this terrible vibration. Make a perfectly good machine sound like something with a bad connecting rod, or you know, something like that. Let's see if these ones want to grab again. That one sure don't. Nah, they're just stripped. That one I'm happy with. These two are getting new screws. I was gonna leave this one, but the truth is, then I'll have 5/16 head and quarter holding it in. This way, if I change them all to 5/16, one tool gets them all out. This one's the one that's broken the tab off. I'll only concern myself with that one if necessary. At a later date, that is. Hey, if you're still with this video and with this series, thanks for following along. It's been a long trip for me, probably just as long for you, but not really, because you didn't have to wait for parts during the videos. Anyway, I got the muffler bolted on with some larger bolts there. We got the new PTO on. We have diagnosed all the electrical problems, which was the PTO, which required replacement of the PTO. We got the new LED combination flood and spots. We got the new switch, the new PTO switch, the switch for the lights. New PTO belt. I'm going to let them run around with it for a while. I'm going to run around with it first. I'm going to give it back to them. Let them put up a couple hours on it. Then we're going to change the hydro filters. We're going to change the engine oil and any other just general maintenance that it needs. But I think we got it buttoned up. It's been a long road. Appreciate you sticking with me. Let's just give it a test here to make sure it meets our stringent quality standards. I also changed the position of the throttle cable back to where you could see the original clamp was. This thing used to creep back on the guy terrible. They had it so bad they had this bungee cord. Now it'll stay there all day. Isn't that interesting when you leave it like it's supposed to be instead of playing Johnny Fix-It? They had it way over revving anyway, so no telling why. So let's see here. Let's see if this thing is good enough to give it back. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a nice running machine. Works perfectly. Just cut the whole lawn, and now I'm going to give it back to the owner, and he's going to cut his whole lawn, and no more killing the engine, and no more issues anytime soon. I hereby declare this one Wildwood certified. Thanks for watching.